kind of remotely?
I'm here.
Perfect. So I know Jeannie wanted me to kind of give you guys an overview and presentation of what Realtor.com does and how our lead system has been working really well for a lot of agents. So I'll kind of start from the top. At any time, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. If I can't hear you, I'll just ask somebody closer to the speakerphone to repeat it. And let's kind of go over what we're doing here. Now, are you guys looking at my screen, Realtor.com, as you speak?
Yes.
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 All right. So in essence, what we're talking about is our lead program. We have multiple different solutions, but by far the coveted one is the lead program. We have other programs in terms of branding or name recognition or exposure, memory recall, promoting a listing. None of it really seems to work as well or generate the kind of return on investment as our lead program does. Leads are a big commodity right now. That's why agents are really trying to get a hold of whatever lead they can. Our leads seemingly lately tend to be performing at a much higher rate for a few reasons, and I'll explain what those are. So starting from the top, Realtor.com, as you guys may know, we're the official site of the NAR. We work closely with pretty much every single MLS across the country, including yours. So we have the luxury of being able to get our site updated every 15 minutes. It's really, really accurate, up-to-date, reliable info. Basically, the direct reflection of your MLS from a consumer standpoint. So they come to the site, they do a search for homes, they want to get information about properties for sale. When they fill out a lead form, that's in essence how the leads get generated and sent over to you guys. So I'll start with just a basic search for homes in Worcester. I know that's generally where you guys tend to do a majority of your business. So if I start a search for Worcester, there's going to be 693 properties for sale that come up, if you guys can see my screen. Now, obviously, most consumers are probably going to put in a price range up here, so I'll just pick anything. I just want to kind of show you guys what the lead form looks like. So if I go to 300,000 to 400,000, and all of these properties start to show up, okay? They are sorted right now by relevancy. The consumer can sort by anything, price high to low, low to high, whatever. I'll just go high to low. So these are the properties that are for sale on Realtor.com. Okay, some of these listings you guys will not be able to get inquiries from because they are enhanced by the listing agent or the office. So for example, I'll click on Lennox. This is branded by Remax and Jeff Burke, who happens to be the listing agent. He's going to get his own lead, okay? That's just the way it goes. We're not going to send his lead to someone else if he's branded on the property. But there are tons of listings that don't have agent branding, like the one right under it, for example. This property does not have agent branding, okay? You're going to see where it says presented by, but the lead doesn't go to that person. If I were to request information about this property, I would fill out this lead form right here, click contact agent, and this information would get sent to our representing buyer's agent. Let me just show you what the lead form physically looks like. So this is what you guys would get in terms of receiving the lead, okay? The really cool thing about this is the content that you get. It has the contact information of the client, shows you how many times they've been searching for homes on Realtor.com, 87 times. They've viewed this listing 12 times. It's tagged as one of their favorites. You get all of these property details as well. Then you're also going to get a list of other properties that this client has looked at recently, okay? So it kind of gives you, the agent, insight to who the client is, what they're doing, what they're looking for, how aggressively they're looking, and now you have intel on a little bit of what else they're looking for. So a lot of my agents, the smart ones, are kind of leveraging this information when they're talking to the prospective buyer. The client doesn't know that you have this info. They don't know that you've looked at 4 or 5 other homes. So you can tell them, hey, look, I saw the inquiry you made on 1234 Westlake Boulevard. I've got a few other homes that I think might be a good fit for you. They happen to be available and active. Let's go ahead and schedule a showing and take a look at them. Here are the listings I had in mind. So it really kind of gives you a way to get your foot in the door and build that relationship with the client right out of the gate. So with our leads, I think that there's a couple reasons why our success rate has been so high. Because of our direct relationship with the MLS, we don't have any listings on Realtor.com that are already sold or inactive or off the market. It doesn't happen. The second this agent updates the status on this listing, the listing is pulled off of Realtor.com. If it's sold, it gets pulled off of Realtor.com. So you don't get any leads on homes that are already inactive or sold. I know a lot of other sites, you do get that. Not saying it's a bad lead. It just makes it one less hurdle you have to overcome. We also make the phone number field mandatory on our system. We run the phone number through a back-end verification system to ensure that it's accurate. We're not guaranteeing that every number is accurate, but we try to do our part to run it through a system to make sure that it's a good number. And on the lead, you'll see it'll say, hey, phone number checked, verified, good to go. Also, we don't want you to get worn down with any leads off of land, lot, or rental properties either. It does not happen. You don't get any land, lot, or rental leads either. Strictly homes for sale. You may get leads on homes that are pending. It's just a part of the relationship and agreement we have with the MLS. Okay? So if you look at this lead form, it's nothing to do with branding. It doesn't mean that, let's say Jeannie buys leads with us. Her picture doesn't show up next to it and it says, hey, I'm the buyer's agent, inquire with me. And you're up against 4 or 5 other realtors, and the consumer has to choose between which realtor they want to work with. Our site doesn't work like that. We want to make it completely objective. It doesn't matter how many homes you've sold or what your picture looks like or how many recommendations you have or anything like that. If you invest, you'll get leads. The more you invest, the more leads you get. It's all relative. It's all relative. So other sites are going to route their leads based on branding, what you spend, how long you've been with the company, or how many impressions you have or homes you've sold, and it becomes kind of a popularity contest. They're going to choose between the realtor they want to get the inquiry. It's not how ours works. When the lead gets inquired on, an email and text immediately gets sent out to the representing buyer's agent with all the content that we talked about. Now, there's 2 types of leads that a client, that you as an agent can purchase. And this will kind of determine pricing and where you want to be in terms of spend. There's the unshared lead, guys, which means if I'm a home buyer and I inquire on this property on Canterbury, that lead, well, let's say it's Jeannie's turn to get a lead, she only will receive that lead. It will not go to any other agent. It's a completely unshared lead. That lead will only go to her. And it's obviously going to come at a premium. The other version is a shared lead. And a shared lead means that lead goes to Jeannie and one other agent who happens to be in the zip code. So there's 2 versions. The shared version is practically half the price. So 2 agents get the same lead. It doesn't mean that the buyer is choosing between 2 agents. It's just 2 agents get that lead. We do that to ensure that somebody's following up with this client right away, and it increases the chances of them getting service. That's why they're on our site anyways. If they don't get that instant gratification, they're just going to leave, and that's what we cannot afford to happen. Now, obviously, my thought is I personally kind of like the shared concept because it's a lot more affordable, and you get a lot more for your money. There is really no such thing as a truly, truly unshared lead to begin with, because that client who just inquired and that lead went to Jeannie and Jeannie only, they can go and find another listing on a different website, on a different zip code, or even in the same zip code, just another property, and make another inquiry and connect with another agent. So that's my thought process. Some agents only like the unshared option. Some agents are okay with both. It just depends on preference and budget. With everything you guys do, you will also get an autoresponder that will allow for you to reply to every lead automatically. It's basically kind of a way for you to touch every lead if you're out and about or it's 4 in the morning and you're asleep and somebody makes an inquiry. That client will get a welcome email. Hey, my name is Jeannie Collins. I'm with Exit Realty. Thank you for the inquiry. I'm a little tied up right now. When is a good time for us to speak? So it'll get to that lead if you are not able to. It's not designed to supplement you calling them or emailing or texting them. It just allows for us to touch that lead for you, make sure they stay warm, make sure they know who you are and that you're going to follow up with them. We also include a lead cultivation program through Top Producer, which allows for you to email, reply, follow up, cultivate, nurture every single contact lead that you get as well. Again, feel free to ask any questions you guys have at all. I think the biggest challenge we're going to have as a team here is finding available inventory that you guys want to service. I know that generally you guys service Worcester County from what I understand. Inventory has been tough. The system has been selling very, very quickly for a long, long time, especially lately with our increase in traffic and all the new marketing we've been doing and advertising. You've probably seen a lot of the commercials. A lot of markets sell out pretty quickly. So we're going to have some limitations in terms of availability, and we can certainly talk about that. I pulled up a spreadsheet here of our of our open inventory. I'll pull it on this side so you guys can see. This is basically open inventory throughout the country. Let me get the most recent. I apologize. Let me get the newest inventory spreadsheet that just came out, and we'll kind of go into what we have and what it looks like as well. But anyways, any questions at this point? Is there any thoughts on how the lead system works so far?
So when you said that they can request another going request and be sent to another agent, is that outside of the zip code that they're buying? Or?
Great question. No, the answer is no. They're not requesting. The consumer doesn't make an inquiry based on who they want to get that lead. So it's, imagine like a big pie, right? And that pie is broken up into 10 slices. And let's just pick this zip code right here, 01609, right? Jeannie can own 3 slices of that zip code. Bob can own 4, and then Tracy can own 3, right? Let's say tomorrow 10 inquiries come in, okay? Jeannie's going to get 3 of them, Bob's going to get 4 of them, and Tracy's going to get the other 3. It's just a round-robin rotation. The consumer isn't physically determining if they want that lead to go to 1 agent or if they want that lead to go to 2 agents. It's going to rotate just based on whose turn it is to simply get that lead.
Right,
now,
let's say they then request another lead on another property in that zip code. That'll go to somebody else.
It could. It's not guaranteed that it will. Sometimes our system will pick it up and it'll tag it as, oh, Jeannie just got this lead. It's going to go back to her.
Okay.
And look, we personally try to prevent that from happening by we do 2 things to prevent that from happening. We immediately send that client a welcome email. Hey, thank you for using Realtor.com. Your inquiry on 123 Main Street in Worcester has been received. A real estate professional, a buyer's agent, is going to follow up with you regarding your questions on that property. So that will sometimes usually prevent them from going and making another inquiry. Now, then we provide you the autoresponder that will send them the automatic response saying, hey, my name is Jeannie Collins. Thanks for the inquiry. I'll follow up with you as soon as I can. So they get both of those emails and texts. That usually will prevent them from going and making another inquiry unless they are just dying to speak to an agent immediately, and they may make another inquiry. But, you know, that's why follow-up is so, so important here. I mean, we're talking immediate response. And look, we're not here to just sell you guys leads and then wish you luck and, you know, go get them, have fun, we'll talk next year. We're really hands-on. We have tons of things to keep you guys engaged and following up with leads. Every Monday, we have a conference call that we set up. It's through one of our agents here. I'll basically show you kind of what it does. I'm sending this. Oh, that didn't work. Hold on a second. I'm basically setting up. I'm going to set somebody up a conference call right now with our manager that does the training. It's every Monday, and I'll sign all of you guys up for it as well. So this is her coaching session every Monday. It's a lead conversion coaching session. We can register everybody. She goes over strategies on how to convert, going over basic objections, how to overcome those objections, just good follow-up and best practices. So I'll send this out to everybody on the team. We also provide scripting and coaching, best practices. We have webinars. We have all of this stuff to kind of allow you guys to maximize your return so you guys have as much success as possible. That's why we're including these autoresponders and lead cultivation CRM programs to make sure you guys have a great success with us. I mean, you can buy internet leads everywhere. We know we're not the only show in town. We get it. It's competitive out there. And we're certainly not the cheapest. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that we're the best and the cheapest. We're not. Our leads can get a little expensive, but they get expensive because the conversion rate over the last several years has been higher than any other site. And that's what it comes down to. Yeah, you can spend less and get less and, you know, try to follow up with leads that don't really go anywhere, that are off homes that are already sold, and it's tough out there. But our leads, yes, they have their own challenges, but they still tend to convert at the highest rate. And if you get enough of them and you follow up with them correctly, it has been by far our most effective system. And I've got multiple agents that are spending enormous amounts of money with us and that are having a lot of success. I'll show you. So here's my personal book of business, right? These are my accounts. This is my biggest client, Chris Kramer. He spends $262,000 a year. 90% of that, actually 95% of that, is the LEAD program. And I'll show you. So go to his monthly spend. So
But you guys take
the
a
connections
cut.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. One more time.
You take a cut of the sales?
It's such a minute cut that it's not really worth talking about. It all goes to the company at the end of the day. But hey, I've built really good relationships with clients. You know, we have long-standing relationships. Yeah, I mean, look, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't commission-based, but we're just trying to grow our book of business and help agents make money. That's how we retain them, and that's how we're successful. So this client, 20,000 of his 22,000 a month is spent on the connections program.
Actually, Pooja, we have a little bit of a question here on that. It wasn't whether or not you are commission-based, but that when a sale goes through from a Realtor.com lead, that there's then a fee that has to get paid or a commission.
Oh, no, absolutely not. No, you guys keep 100% of whatever sale you guys make. We have nothing to do with that because the problem becomes
that's a misconception.
Trackability and accountability. Like, how are we supposed to track what came in from the sale? Was it a referral? Did they not buy, but their aunt and uncle bought? I mean, it's really tough to track it. So we don't have to take any cut of whatever you guys sell, whatever you guys make. It's 100% you guys. You don't pay per lead afterwards. You don't pay per impression or commission split or anything. Does that make sense?
Yes, that was just clearing up a rumor that had been flying around. Thank you.
Yeah, so this client started out a couple years ago with me, literally spending like $200 a month on leads. They were skeptical at first because they had tried other lead systems. They have grown to become my biggest clients. They buy leads for their entire office. They are waitlisted for, I'll show you their wait list. They are pre-authorized for about 30 to 40 zip codes. They literally, without me calling them, they buy all of these in red are pre-authorization zip codes, meaning the second it opens up, they will buy it. I don't even have to call them. These are all the zip codes that they want to basically purchase at any given time. The list just continues to go on. So, you know, they do that because they happen to make a lot of money. Let's kind of jump in and look at some of their leads. This is their internal control panel, which you guys will also get. It will allow you guys to track leads, follow up with leads, all of it. So this is basically their dashboard view. Okay, you get a product setup dashboard where you can go in, update photos, add headlines and captions, update slogans. The system's a bit slow, mainly because it's a bigger account, so it takes a second to pull up. Now, I actually have agents in Massachusetts as well, if that's what you guys want to look at. But anyway, so this is his control panel. It's him and a partner. This is where you would control where you want the leads to go. This is where, you know, you can set up text functionality and everything. If we look at their inquiries tab, this will kind of show you, you know, the kind of inquiries they're getting and how many they're getting, right? So a few on their own listings, obviously, because they have their listings enhanced, but this is the bulk of their business. They've built out multiple teams because of this lead program. So these are just their most recent inquiries. We're always on a 2-day delay. So you would have this same control panel, name, email address, whatever particular messages they put on there. Here's the very first lead I just clicked on randomly. They're in Rock Hill. I was wondering if this house is still under contract. We are really interested. So I'm not saying every lead is like that, obviously. Here's an email and a phone number, obviously, mandatory. This came from mobile. So here's what this means. As you guys might know, 60% of our traffic is coming from the Realtor.com mobile app. Probably even more than that, 65% probably. These are buyers who are a little bit more tech savvy. They're driving around on their smartphone, looking at homes, open house Sunday with their family. They are a little bit more on the go, a little bit more tech savvy. A lot of the inquiries you get are going to come from mobile, meaning someone's smartphone, someone using the Realtor.com app. And it'll say mobile on there. Let's look at another lead. So this just says RDC at Realtor.com. This is just a regular standard desktop lead, name, phone number, interested in 5500 Crown Hill. Does it have open floor plan? If so, please send a picture. So, you know, these are the kind of inquiries you're going to get. You're not all going to get them that have these kind of questions. Some of them are just going to be, hey, I want to request details, name and number. That's it. So, you know, it's all about, and by the way, Chris Kramer and his team, they exclusively do the shared version. They only have shared leads. They get a lot more leads for their money. I'll show you. So when you come down here, fast means shared, all right? So these are all the contracts they had coming up for renewal. As you can see, pending fulfillment, they've all been renewed. So they only do the shared option. They have a team in place. They have a follow-up in place. They're confident in their ability. They know it's competitive. They do share. I'm not encouraging that. I'm just saying they tend to get a lot more leads for their money when they do that. Does that make sense, guys?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. So that's kind of the quick 10, 20-minute elevator pitch of the system in a nutshell. Pricing for the leads are going to, go ahead, sorry.
If an agent enhances their listings, does that mean that nobody else can get a lead on that?
That's absolutely accurate, yes. Okay. If you enhance a listing, or it's not even a listing, if you enhance your account, which covers unlimited listings for the year, then yes, no other agent will ever get a lead off of that property. Now, other sites, specifically like a Zillow or Trulia, you can enhance your listings there, and other agents can still show up on your listing. We don't do that. Being the official site of the NER, we really want to protect the agent who is paying that premium and make sure that nobody else receives that inquiry. And when we sell leads, guys, we take into account the amount of listings that are enhanced or not. So we can't sell an area that either has too many listings enhanced or too many agents already receiving leads. We're really, really careful about that. And if we sell an area, if it's for sale, it means it's set to perform, bottom line.
Okay, so I take it the one in the middle is not enhanced because it's only got 2 photos, and the other 2 are enhanced, right?
Great observation, but that's not entirely accurate. Okay. So the way you know it's enhanced is this yellow border, right? Oh, okay. That indicates that it's enhanced. So look, I'll show you an unenhanced listing with a lot of photos. Here's an unenhanced listing with 30 photos, okay? So if I wanted to get information about this property, it's got 30 photos. I can go through all of them, look at it. All right, I like what I see. I want to get information. I'm going to go ahead and put in my info. Don't fill this out because this is going to go to somebody else and it's going to count as their lead. So try not to complete this form. But when you do complete the form, this is what the actual lead looks like. New lead from Realtor.com with all of this contact info that you end up receiving. So let me show you an enhanced listing so we can be on the same page. So this property, I'll show you a listing that's enhanced by an actual agent and not the broker. A lot of these are enhanced by a broker, meaning the broker has opted in to have it, and they get personal branding on it as well. So here's one. This is an enhanced listing. Okay. So Kim is going to receive this inquiry. She's paid the premium to have that. She's got her slogan on there. I can view her website. I can view other listings. Any communication I do on this property routes back over to Kim.
Okay.
Because her account is enhanced. But look, the enhanced program, it's not really a lead generator. I don't want you guys to think, oh, I've got 10 listings. I'm going to sign up for that and get a bunch of inquiries. It's really not a lead generator. To me, I think it's great for personal promotion, property promotion, using it as a listing tool. That's what it's important to me for. It allows for you to go on a listing presentation, show sellers what you're doing, how you can present their property, send them reporting of how their homes are doing, how many views, how many clicks, how many impressions they're getting, and leverage that to continue to pick up listings. It's not really a lead generation program in a lot of ways.
So you guys used
Does that make sense?
You guys used to put the enhanced listings up front first. Is that not the case anymore?
It all depends on how you sort. So
okay.
That's not the case anymore, no. But any way you sort, the enhanced, so like right now I sorted by price low to high, right? Here's an example. These are both 300,000. The enhanced one is going to get priority. It's going to come up first. Even though we're priced low to high, we're going from 300 to 400. This one still shows up first because it's enhanced. So they still get a little priority over it, but it all depends on how you search.
Right.
Make sense?
Yeah. Is it still priced based on the number of listings you had in the last year for enhancing?
Yeah, that's 100% accurate. It's still based on how many listings you've had over the course of the last year. Okay. Now, the lead program, the pricing is going to be based on, the area, the average purchase price of homes in the area, the demand for that particular zip code. There's a lot of factors that go into determining pricing. Okay.
Can you give us an example say 01604?
So repeat that question one more time.
Can you give us an example as to how much it would be for an agent and see if 01604 is open?
Yeah, so let's look at inventory here really quickly and see what we got. So this is our nationwide inventory search, okay? Let's narrow it down. Was I right in assuming Worcester County is the primary, guys?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so here's what we have available throughout Worcester County, okay? These can get a little confusing. It still shows 6 months when everything is now 12 months, so these prices are going to be completely off. So kind of disregard these. We'll talk about pricing in a second. Here are all the cities alphabetically. Let's go down to Worcester, okay? Here's what we're looking at for the zip code you mentioned, correct?
Yep.
01604, right? So flex, guys, means unshared. That means the lead goes to you and you only, and I'm showing 2 positions are available there. I'll explain what a position means, all right, or a slot, okay? Fast means shared. It means the lead goes to you and to one other agent, okay? Each slot, guys, is the equivalent of 40 to 48 leads over the course of the year. So if I have 2 slots, it means that I have 80 to 96 unshared leads that an agent can purchase, all right? So if I were to put in 2 there, this would be $392 per month for the year to get 80 to 96 unshared leads in this particular zip code, okay?
How much was that again?
$392 per month. Now,
How many leads?
let me show you the, go ahead, I'm sorry, I missed you, one more time.
How many leads?
80 to 96 leads over the year.
Over here.
Now, let me show you the flip side of that. If we did 4 slots of shared leads, so that's double the amount of leads, right? It's 160 to 192 leads, right? Because it's 4 slots. This would cost $404, basically the same price, and you get double the amount of leads. I'm not saying you're going to win every lead, right? There's going to come times where somebody beats you to the punch. There's going to come times where they talk to another realtor, but you're getting twice as many, and that's the value. That's where the success comes in. It's all numbers. It's all volume. The more leads you get, the more success you're going to have. Make sense?
Yeah.
So a lot of these are going to have, different price tags associated. You can see the average listing price on some of these. I'm kind of going above and beyond what I'm supposed to show you guys, so keep this internal.
Thank
But anyways, this just kind of shows you general zip code and pricing. If they're zeroed out like this, like Berlin, I don't have any unshared leads in Berlin as of this second. Now, this spreadsheet changes all the time. You can see that we get the email sent to us all the time. Look, I got one earlier today, right here, inventory attached. We get an updated one around every 30 minutes.
Wow.
And it's because, we have sales that get made every day, so inventory has to update so often, so we are keeping it 100% accurate. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So this is kind of the system in a nutshell in a lot of ways. Pricing is going to vary depending on the area and how many leads you want to get from that area. I personally think it's wise to get enough leads. Like if you were to go bare minimum and get 40 to 48 leads, it becomes kind of luck of the draw, right? You're not really putting yourself in a position for a lot of success because you've got to hope that one of those leads converts for you to make a lot of money. If you're getting close to 200, 300 leads, it's next to impossible to not get conversions and make money. And it's not just about that one lead. A lot of these buyers that are inquiring, they might have a home they need to sell in order to buy, so it can lead to listings. They have an aunt or uncle that needs to buy. You do a good job for them. It builds relationships, and you're building pipeline, getting referrals. Some of them are cash buyers. They're looking to get multiple homes or investors. So, I mean, it's never ending. I'm not saying they're all good. You're going to get leads that never reply to you. You're going to get leads that tell you that they're just looking. There's some good, there's some bad, but you get enough of them and you can make a lot of money.
I have a quick question. Do you get more heavily weighted based on your response time to the lead? So in other words, if I'm always responding, bam, as soon as that call comes through, do my cycle ratchet up any faster in terms of how many times I get shown or how many times I get fed that lead?
It's a very good question. The answer is no. You don't get rewarded by us by following up faster. Obviously, you're going to reap the benefits of that internally, and you're going to have a higher conversion rate. But we don't route you more leads or better leads because you're better at following up. I think it's a good point, and I think that the system should potentially look into that because that will reward faster follow-up, which helps everyone. It helps the consumer, helps the agent, everybody's happy.
Well, I know Zillow does do that. And if you don't I know Zillow does do that.
Uh-huh.
So
well, Zillow's leads get routed just based on what the consumer is choosing. Like if the consumer chooses you versus Jeannie, then you will get the lead. If they don't check anything, then everybody who's on that box gets the lead.
Right.
I was unaware that they route leads based on the agent's response time. That's news to me.
That was one of their options, and that it does like increase your rankings, so to speak, based on how quickly you respond.
Okay. So yeah, you can increase your rankings, but that doesn't necessarily increase lead quality or quantity. It just increases your rankings, which then allows you to get seen more or seen with better reviews or whatever. And then yes, it can result in you getting more clicks, right? Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, I think that's what they were getting to.
Gotcha. Yeah, so with us, obviously, we are big encouragers of following up with leads quickly, replying to leads often. We have, here I'll show you some scripting and coaching that we put together that I'll email you guys as well. Bear with me for a couple seconds here. So this is what I also like to provide you guys. I'm going to pull it up on this screen so you have it. Let's see.
Does all the capture, everything work the same mobilely as it does desktop?
Repeat that one more time.
Does all the stuff we're going over, does the capture and the way it works mobilely work the same mobile?
Yeah, so we don't charge more for mobile or desktop leads. You're going to get them both. We don't have a separate contract for the mobile leads or anything. It's about 50-50, probably closer to 60-40 in terms of mobile to desktop inquiries. This is what we also provide you. It's a lot of just general scripting that we've compiled. Here's kind of best practices for converting internet leads that we'll send you. Here's what to say if they're asking if you're the listing agent. This is all the stuff you'll get from us to ensure that you're successful. Here's like 5 basic tips for converting internet leads. Quite honestly, this is probably stuff you guys already know because you've been doing internet leads. But if we can help you in any way get a higher conversion rate, that's what it's all about. And that's what's so important to us.
Do you know what, if an agent's following up correctly, do you have any numbers on what an agent should expect from themselves for conversion rate?
Yeah, so industry average internet lead, this is from the NAR, this isn't from us. Industry average internet conversion lead is about 3 to 4%. So if you get 100 internet leads, you're going to close about 3 to 4 of them. Ours tend to be a little bit higher, guys, because of the fact that we have mandatory phone numbers. You don't get any leads on homes that are already sold or off the market. No land, no lot, no rentals. You're not dealing with for sale by owners. Those are some of the challenges we've overcome. So our conversion rates tend to be a little bit higher. I'd say to be conservative, I'd still say look at close to the 4 to 5 range, 4 to 5%. So if you get 100 leads, you're looking to close maybe 4 or 5 of them over the course of the year. That doesn't mean that I don't have agents converting a significantly higher rate. I have some agents up to 15% conversion rate, which is really, really high. I have some agents at 2%, right? They're just maybe referring the leads off. They're not doing a very good job of following up. They're going to not have as high a conversion rate. So it really all varies. But if you can aim for 4 or 5% conversion rate, you're going to be able to make a lot of money. And I'll show you what I mean. So let's just assume we go with a little bit in each of these areas, okay? And I'm just going to kind of put it in a calculator so we can see what this is going to look like, all right? Let's just hypothetically assume we go with this many positions. That's 5 slots, right? That would cost you $416 a month, okay? Here's what I want to show you. It all kind of plugs into here. So 5 slots right here, as you guys can see. you're going to get about 200 leads over the course of the year, and that's on the conservative side. Average commission per sale. What do you think the average sale is in Worcester that you would make on average? Just general. Give me any number.
Say 4,500
Maybe.
bucks average commission.
How much? 4,500? Did you say 4,500?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to lowball it and say 3,500. Okay.
Okay.
Expected sales at 3% conversion rate. This isn't even taking, we're going super aggressive on everything. So at a 3% conversion rate, you're looking at 6 deals. That's 21 grand. You're basically looking at 3 times your investment at 3%. You're looking at 6 times your investment at 5%. You know, so these are kind of the numbers that you're looking at in terms of what you're going to spend. $416, you're looking at just under 5 grand, okay? So at 3%, you're making 21 grand. At 5%, you're making 35 grand. And then again, these numbers will vary. If you want to get even more conservative, and let's just say 2,500. So at 3%, you're still making, you know, 3 times your return. Over here, you're making 5 times your return. So that's kind of, these are obviously very general. It's going to change per area depending on the average commission, depending on your conversion rate. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay. And let's go ahead and wipe these out.
So
now, this inventory will also change here and there. Sometimes we'll have new inventory releases. If there are certain cities that you guys are dying for that you don't see on here, it just means they're sold out. We can waitlist you, and when we do waitlist you, we can obviously get you those areas as soon as they become available, depending on you know, options at that time.
So I've talked to a lot of agents that have done this, and it seems to me the ones that are successful are the ones that are spending at least $200 a month. Would you say that anything less is just not enough?
If you want my true, honest opinion, I think that it's tough to answer that question because $200 a month in Worcester is going to get you more than, let's say, $200 a month in Beverly Hills 90210, right? So yeah. I think a lot of it is relative to where you are. I think the dollar amount isn't as important as the lead amount.
As a lead amount, yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, the lead amount is really important, and I would never set an agent up with, well, not that I would never. I would advise against getting like the bare minimum. Some agents just want to do the bare minimum so they can try the system and get into it and grow as they have success. And I get that, and I respect that. But you're kind of putting yourself behind the 8 ball when you're not getting very many leads, because you're going to dwell on every single lead you get. If it's a bad lead, it's going to irk you, and you're going to get frustrated. You're not going to get leads consistently. And it, you know, kind of a desperation factor comes in. I have agents that are getting, look, I'll show you my book of business again. If I go to, these are all my clients. This is my client in Hawaii spending $200,000. I have so many clients spending, these are all of them. I mean, 20, 30, 40,000 per year. Some of them are huge listing agents. This client has 230 listings over the course of the year right here. So, I mean, I wouldn't advise spending, you know, less. I think you need to get at least a couple hundred leads a year. That can become a little cost prohibitive, right? I get that. So I think a lot of it is just what your comfort zone is. If you're not getting very many leads and you do want to start small, then we need to be super diligent about getting to leads quickly and getting the leads often. Okay? That's so important.
Yeah, I mean, I personally would still say you want to try to get 100 leads a year. Otherwise, you're not going to close 3 to 5 sales, and it's going to be.
Exactly. I mean, some agents want to do the bare minimum. They want 40 leads. Sure, you can do that. But let's say you don't get a closing. And I mean, our renewal rates, guys, when an agent gets north of 200 leads is unbelievably higher than when they get 40 leads. You know, if you get 40 leads, your renewal rate, I mean, I'm you know, not to brag, but I'm really good at what I do. And even my renewal rates on a client that's getting 40 leads is maybe 50%. But if a client's getting 200 leads a year or more, we're up to 80, 90% renewal rates because they see the value. They're building pipeline every day. They may not close that lead, but they're building future pipeline. They're getting leads that might close next year. And they're just involved in communications and conversations with brand new buyers and sellers every day. So they see the benefits a lot more than those agents that start really small. I'm not discouraging it, but it helps when you have the numbers on your side. It's all numbers games, just like anywhere. This is a numbers game too. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Any other questions or thoughts? Is there, should we look at, and by the way, I sometimes get a little bit of flexibility on pricing. It's not much, but, the more, and the reason it's not much is right now our promo codes are kind of at a minimum because the demand has been unbelievably high. We've been sold out of a lot of areas. We released a good amount of inventory last month. That's why we have some inventory available. But demand has been really, really high. And the demand is high because of our new efforts in terms of marketing, bringing on brand awareness, making everybody know who we are, how aggressively, we're marketing, the fact that we have the accurate info. So, buyers are coming to our site more than ever. Agents are realizing that they can get a higher conversion rate with us. So I'm getting probably closer to 20 to 30 referrals on a weekly basis, a lot of them from agents that were on Zillow and Trulia, and they want to try us because they see the conversion rate is there. So that's one of the reasons why we don't have super duper flexibility on pricing. But with that said, I can get a little bit of discounts depending on the volume that's purchased. So that's always something to look at as well. I will work with the team and get you guys as good of a rate as I humanly can to make sure that you guys are successful. And we build a long-lasting relationship to where we're making you guys money, you guys are happy, you guys don't ever consider letting us go, and you become kind of a staple in your marketing. I've worked with a couple of agents on the team already, I believe, and I'm just going to max out whatever discount I can get anytime I can get it to keep you guys happy.
Okay, sounds good. The other question I had was, as your marketing grows and obviously more people start to keep going to Realtor.com, do those overflow of leads go to the agents in that zip code already, or do you add more agents?
Really good question. So there has to be a cap that gets met. We're only going to create new inventory in an area if we can confidently deliver the leads that we already quoted and then deliver an additional set of 40 to 48 on top of those. If we can't, then we're not going to go ahead and create that inventory. And if we do create that inventory, then you guys who are in the zip codes are obviously going to get first crack to upgrade and buy more as well. But look, with Zillow, you're buying impressions. So you could be in 01609, you can have 20,000 impressions or 20% market share. They don't sell out of inventory because they can just continue to create more impressions or chop up the impressions or the percentages and continue to plug in more and more and more agents. So it kind of waters it down. With us, if you were to, let's say, buy these two positions in 01604, right? I have 0 left to sell. That's it. There isn't another way and another agent can come and buy more than that because this will close out this market. This will turn into 0, and that market is closed out, and I can't sell more leads to another agent until we launch more inventory and it becomes available, which doesn't happen too often. We want to make sure that the lead quotes we're giving you are met before we go ahead and launch more and more and more inventory. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So you only create new positions, new inventory based on the huge overflow of demand in that zip code?
Right. Traffic to the site, how many listings are enhanced. There's a big algorithm that the marketing team does. It's way over my head. I'm just a stupid salesperson.
Or an agent
but they go into how many homes are for sale, how many impressions that area gets, how many are enhanced, what projected future traffic can the area get. So there's a bunch of things that go into it. When they determine there's more inventory that can be released, they'll go ahead and release it.
This user-friendly for a team aspect?
Yes. I mean, it depends on what you're looking for. If you guys are looking to buy leads under a team and then distribute them, distribute those leads accordingly, yeah, we have follow-up plans that can easily allow you to route leads according to, conversion rates or the areas that you guys are buying. There's a bunch of factors that go into it. We can certainly help with team building in that sense. We have the lead conversion program through Top Producer as well. We have the Fox Street auto response program as well that can be, designated on a team version. Yeah, totally not an issue whatsoever.
And it tracks all of it as well for each team?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think we want to get into the top producer piece today, but I may want you to could you do that kind of webinar as well? I know you guys.
Yeah, so sometimes I'll get enough discounts on, like if you're getting enough leads, I'll get enough discounts on the zip codes to where, particularly getting you the top producer, the lead cultivation program, at, I don't want to say at no charge, but I discount the zip codes enough to where you're getting top producer in the same package. And the reason we do that is because it helps you with your cultivation. It allows for every agent to stay connected with every lead, follow up with these leads, past, present, future clients, not just about leads. It's kind of like imagine a virtual assistant, right? It allows for you to stay engaged with people. So let's say you meet someone today at the grocery store, you talk real estate. They say, oh yeah, I might be interested in buying a year from now. What would you normally do? You'd go put them in your Outlook reminder. You would, a year would go by, you would get a pop-up, you would have no clue who they are, you have no recollection of the conversation. They're not going to remember you. You're not really going to get anywhere. With Top Producer, it's going to cultivate that lead. Send them welcome reminders every month. Send them newsletters. Keep them engaged. Put together an action plan to where when it is time to call a year from now, they know who you are. They've gotten contacts from you and response back from you and feedback from you. So that call is a lot warmer. It basically is just strictly designed to cultivate and nurture everybody you come in touch with, lead or not, referral or not, anything. It just builds your relationships with them, and it kind of becomes like your virtual assistant. So we encourage agents to have it. If we need to discount the zip codes for you to have it so you have a higher conversion rate, you make more money with us, we're going to do it.
Your contract 6 months or a year?
It's 12 months. And the reason for that is, look, we used to do 6-month contracts years ago. Agents were asking us for 12-month time frames, mainly because they didn't want to deal with renewing every 6 months. We historically have price increases. I'm not going to hide behind that. We do have price increases that happen quite a bit. They were tired of dealing with increased rates. When you do a 12-month term, you're avoiding seasonality. Some months are going to be better than others. You're avoiding that. You're just getting a bigger sample size, bigger volume, which allows for you to have more variety, more numbers on your side, and gauge the program much better. Now, nothing renews automatically. When the year goes by, if you guys want to continue it, you guys see the return, you guys want to keep going, we can do so. I don't know if I can get the same discounted rates I'm going to get you now in a year from now, but we'll deal with that in a year from now. If it's more expensive than what you want to pay, you just don't renew. If I can get, aggressive rates, or there's other areas that open up, we can always expand and get you more and more and more.
Do you direct connect for calling and then record the call?
I'm not understanding the question.
So basically a lead comes in, do you connect them directly to the agent via phone, and does that call ever get recorded?
It's not a phone call. It's always going to be an email and a text. The leads will not come to you via a live phone call. We tried that for a while. It was a nightmare. There were dropped calls left and right, calls in the middle of the night. It just didn't work out. The return was not nearly as good as consumers emailing or texting when they want information. So the leads get to you guys via text and email within seconds of inquiring. And then the client gets a welcome email. Hey, Bob Smith, thank you for the inquiry on 123 Main Street. Jeannie Collins is going to follow up with you. That gets texted and emailed to them right away. So they know that the lead's been acknowledged. They're going to get follow-up from you via text and email right away.
Hey, Vijay, what would, if anyone was interested today, what would the next steps be?
So any agent who's interested, call me or email me. My email should be, Jeannie should have it.
I do.
We can kind of get into a one-on-one conversation looking at pricing. We'll uncover your budget, what you need, and I'll get you as many leads as humanly imaginable within your budget to keep you guys going. If there's any county outside of Worcester, we can look at that as well. Just call me directly or email me, and we'll look at availability on a one-by-one basis and see what we can come up with for you. And obviously, you'll get everything I talked about, the auto response, the webinars, the scripting, the coaching, all of that. And I'll become the personal account rep for you. So whatever you guys need, really hands-on, really easy to get a hold of me. I'm involved in making sure you guys are successful. I take referrals really, really seriously. So this isn't kind of a sign up and then forget about it type of thing. The way I've been successful is growing relationships with agents and making sure that they know that I'm a resource for them. So we'll be hands-on. We'll make sure that you guys are getting the conversion rates that we think you guys can obtain and make the money that we think you guys can make.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My pleasure, guys. And let me give you my name and number now if you guys need it. You guys can call me whenever you need. It's 805-557-7956. The email address is hoogeh.hakim@realtor.com.
I'll put it up.
And Jeannie, if you can forward it to anybody, that would be wonderful. And I'm here for whoever needs my help, guys.
Okay, thanks, Vijay.
Thank you.
Thank you, team.
Have a good
Take
day.
care.
All right, thanks.